This one is from a guy named Justin Pierce. I think it was posted yesterday. And Justin Pierce is a contributor to Pulpit and Pen. And this is some of the longer stuff that I'll go through here. He says, I've listened to both of the links. There is a third. I know Pastor Osama personally. We actually had an Exposing Islam conference with him several years ago, and wow, he knows his stuff because he lived it and was force-fed it. I've talked to James White about him to see if he was legit. I don't understand the sentence. The way I see it, James cannot stand Osama because he's not a Calvinist Reformed guy or one of the untouchables. So one of the first things I did is I go, I have no idea who Justin Pierce is. Never heard of him. So when did we have this conversation? When did you talk to me about Osama Dakdak? So I put that out there, and a little bit later, an answer comes back through other people. I called you and talked on the phone 7 years ago. Now, it's possible. It's possible. It's also possible that the Enterprise beamed that guy out of his what was that, an F-104 in that one episode, and did the whole time thing, the slingshot thing. That's possible too. You don't know. I mean, I think it's more likely that the Enterprise did its thing personally, but you see, the reason is there's this guy in the other room, and it's really hard to get past him to talk to me. So unless you were a bud that had my phone number, I really don't think you got through to me. Maybe you think you talked to me because you talked to him. I don't know. But the idea, again, about whether Osama is a Calvinist or not is utterly irrelevant, completely and totally. So, yeah, Jason online says, I can't remember who I talked to last week. Having the same problem as us, huh? Okay. Anyway, I asked him if Osama ever has spoken publicly about anything except exposing and explaining the danger of Islam, which he hasn't. Asked who? I asked him if Osama ever has spoken publicly about anything except exposing and explaining the danger of Islam, which he hasn't. What? I can't even follow half this. It's irrational. I told Dr. White that he needed to listen to Pastor Osama and learn the truth about Islam, and that he simply wasn't interested and just blew him off. He won't even debate him about Islam. I mean, Dr. White will debate Muslims all over the world and call anyone who says ISIS is Islam is a liar. Context was, or maybe you wrote this before I provided the context, or you didn't bother to go look at it. Context was the two different extremes, and those saying that ISIS is all of Islam, and the people on the other side that's saying it has nothing to do with it. Anyone repeating that is lying. L-Y-I-N-G. Those are the facts. I've provided the facts. Deal with it. Deal with it. If you can't listen to what somebody says and deal with it in an honest fashion, then you have all the freedom in the world to do what you do. Just don't call yourself a Christian. Just call yourself an internet whatever, but don't call yourself a Christian. Yeah, he won't debate Pastor Osama Dakdak and prove where he is wrong. Come on. Seriously, prove it or apologize. There needs to be a debate on this with these two men like today. Like today. See, here's the difference, Justin. When we do debates, we actually do serious debates that are supposed to have long-term effect. And so I have pointed out a number of times, give me a meaningful, representative thesis. And the next time I would have an opportunity for any type of debate would probably be March of next year. Because I am literally, I will literally earn, not platinum pro, but what's the top one? Executive platinum on American Airlines this year. Because I am teaching in Europe. I'm preaching in the Castle Church in Wittenberg in September. I'm teaching in Dallas. I'm teaching in Johannesburg. I'm teaching in Durban. I am teaching all over the place. I am going to be gone. I'm going to be out of sight of the United States 1 out of every 6 days this year. And so with already my commitment to G3 in January of next year, you're talking February, March at the earliest. And I'm right now, we've got to limit my external travel next year extremely. So, but give me something worthwhile, because so far all I have are lies about what I've said. None of you people will even represent me even semi-accurately. What is it you want to debate about? What is it these people want to debate about? Give me, someone said, well, here's what Keith Thompson says, and then links to a private page. So I couldn't even read what he said. If he wants the world to know about it, put it on a page where someone can actually read it, okay? I would love to have seen what he thinks the issue is. What is the issue here? Where have I gone off the reservation? Because all I'm hearing are lies. Sam Shamoun lying about me. The man has lost his ever-loving mind. Go to his Facebook page. It's incredible. I don't think he slept. He's just sitting in there at the keyboard. James White is evil. And just typing away and coming up with everything. And, you know, the next thing he's going to be doing is posting Gail Riplinger stuff. I mean, it's coming. It really is coming. Hey, if you can do Steven Anderson, you can do Gail Riplinger. They're pretty much in the same realm. And people say, you need to debate Sam Shamoun. Sam Shamoun has become the Nader Ahmed of Christian apologists. The Nader Ahmed of Christian apologists. He has disqualified himself. And I don't want to have to post what I have of Sam Shamoun's words, because they're vile, they're profane, they are repulsive. But if people keep hammering me on it and saying, you need to do this, you need to do this, I'm simply going to tell you right now, and you could find it if you wanted to dig far enough, unless he's deleted it. If he's smart, he will delete it. But just search for stuff by Robert Morey. And search for comments, and you'll discover there are people who have entire files. Some of the stuff I knew about even before Sam went off the rails, and I called him on it. And I told him, you communicate in a way that no Christian should ever communicate. This is wrong. It's completely in error. Now he's doing it to me. And we have standards. And there is absolutely no logical or rational basis for believing that this man would be able to control himself in a debate, given how he behaves and given the documentation that we possess of the language, the vile communication that comes from his fingers. I mean, is there really a difference between a keyboard and the mouth? It almost seems like we exercise more control over what we say than what we type. Sadly, I think that's due to the internet. So, not even a possibility. Not even a possibility. Just simply on behavioral level. Speaking of somebody, here's the next one. Someone named Ida Kogodo commented, how do you define a traitor? And Sam Shamoun's response was, James White. Do we not have this? Just throw them up there. Don't worry about trying to zoom in on them and stuff like that. Just throw the region up. You're not going to have time to keep up with them. So just throw it up there. How do you define a traitor? James White. Thankfully, John Roberts down below says, hello, what? But anyway, thank you very much for Sam. Louise Bannister. Of course you're all right. What is the matter with James White? Deaf and blind. They think you can joke, dine, and love them. You can't. They lie. They say what makes you feel good, then poof. What? Poof. Yeah, well, you can't see it right there? It says, yeah, poof, right there. I don't know. I guess so. Then Ken Lightsey says, we are to have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. No such thing as a moderate Muslim. They're all there. Misspelled. All wicked. And then Denise Grimes chimes in. This is sort of a picture of the mindset. These are not the folks that are going to be reaching out to the Muslims, okay? These are not the folks that are praying, Lord, give me an opportunity to be a witness of the gospel of Jesus Christ to the Muslim people. No, these are not those folks. Denise Grimes, exactly. A Muslim is a Muslim. At the end of the day, all Muslims are loyal to Allah and Muhammad. And just where are the moderate countries? This is the mindset of these folks. And then here again is the 2 Corinthians 6:14, 2 John 2. We just addressed that one. Then we had this one that everybody was having fun with this one. Did I cut off the region? No, it's there. Nathaniel Casano posted this one, and a lot of folks had fun with this one. James White is technically also an imam, as a pastor, Chrislam. You had a caller that said I was engaging in Chrislam, right? Yeah, I know, it was a woman. Yeah, but obviously influenced by House. Yeah. Chrislam, me. I know. Look, guys, I've learned you give to someone's criticism the weight that their life accomplishments, accuracy of representation, and research demands it be given. Which means I ain't giving no weight to any of this because these people don't know what they're talking about. So that's not why I'm doing this. What I'm warning about is this incredible attitude amongst people who call themselves Christians that shows not the slightest interest in being truthful. And the internet breeds this stuff. It breeds it. You conservatives that talk about the liberal echo chambers, you've got your own too. You've got your own echo chambers. You've got your own. This is because the doctrine of absolute divine simplicity and Trinitarian theology that results in a monad of the Godhead. This is why you can call Yasser Qadi a good friend. Also, they are both very pro-Palestine. I don't even know what to say. What have I ever said that even, what? If you want to refute him, you would need to adopt the Eastern Orthodox position that the Spirit precedes the Father alone and discard the Filioque clause. There you go. Okay, then Len Pettis posted this. I listened to every episode. They never called James apostate that I heard. They did say he is disqualified to teach on Islam. They didn't log any insults either. Now, Jeremy Springer responds, yes, they did. I really don't want to go back and listen, but I will. Listen to Dividing Line for Thursday. He plays a clip where they call him apostate. Useful, idiot, apostate, and embarrassment to Christianity all seem like insults to me. Thank you, Jeremy. Obviously, in the world you and I live in, the sky is blue. And then he says, did you listen to DL from Thursday? All three of those terms were used to describe White. If those aren't insults to a Christian, I'm not sure what is. That's the common sense part speaking. And Len responds, James White whines that he's taken out of context, yet you're ignoring the context of Brandon House. Specifically said that James is not an idiot and qualified the etymology of the term useful idiot. They also used the other two terms specific to his ability and qualifications to teach on the topic of Islam. Have you studied the background of the man White calls his mentor? And if so, does it trouble you? If not, why not? So I put this up, sometime this morning or sometime today. So I'm sitting in here working on another project that I still haven't gotten done. And now I'm having to rush through, and it's far more important than any of this silliness anyways. And I hear a conversation down the hall. And I can tell that Rich's voice is... So I wander down there, and lo and behold, who's on the phone but Len Pettis. And so I go, put on speaker. So we start talking. So useful idiot isn't an insult. No, I think you've just totally misunderstood their attitude. No, I didn't. And then I asked the key question. I said, so Len, have you listened to my response to the first hour they posted? No. No, Dr. White, I haven't. So Len, have you ever watched the dialogues I did with Yasser Qadi? Nope. To which I said, Len, you're speaking out of pure ignorance. And he was. And eventually I said, look, if you can't figure that out, if you can't see how insulting it is for these men to ignore 30 years of ministry, to ignore all those debates, all the stuff I've just played here, and you don't even have the integrity to listen to the dialogues and then say stuff like this? What can I say? Oh, did you want to? Oh, you want to get on this, huh?
Well, I'll be brief. And then I explained the definition of useful idiot to him.
Yes.
And again, anybody who understands even the basic point of it is they're calling you a propagandist.
Yeah.
It was
It's
Stalin's term.
No rational person can see it as anything but an insult.
For a propagandist in the United States who is a communist, he considered them to be useful idiots. So not only are they propagandists for the Communist Party, but they're stupid.
Yeah, well,
that's the nature of it.
But it's not an insult. Not in Len Pettis' world. Brandon House, James White and his fans attack me, the radio host, instead of guest experts Dakdock and Haiti, and I interviewed because White is scared to debate them. And Scott Furlow says, Brand, you hit it on the doornail. White is running scared now. Yeah, I'm just so scared. I'm running scared. And then Brandon House, I think James White should change his ministry slogan to Make Islam Great Again. And he says we're attacking him. Yeah, make Islam great again. Let me start wrapping stuff up here. Go a little bit past 4:30, but I want to play you two clips from the dialogues. Let me start with the second night. And the fact of the matter is, folks, there is an entire industry amongst evangelicals and conservative Republicans. This is the politics start getting involved here. I guess even Brand House even criticized me because evidently at some point, which I don't even remember, I may have said something negative about Sean Hannity. I may have disagreed with something Sean Hannity said. Heresy. There's a strong level of politics involved with this that I want nothing to do with. Nothing. But there are people who are making their living selling fear. And the last thing that they want is for Christians and Muslims to be talking to each other in a context of mutual respect. They don't want that. That ruins their entire deal. To many of these people, Muslim evangelism is yelling and screaming at Muslims, insulting Muhammad, insulting them. That's what Sam Shamoun does. That's what he thinks is evangelism. And using every kind of invective that you can, that's how you prove your faithfulness to God. And so when they see two people uncompromisingly confessing their absolute differences, and yet recognizing in each other someone who really believes what they believe, it drives them insane. Drives them insane.